Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an awesome life. Are you ready? Alright, so I want to talk about wishing something for the other. I know when you do this, and you ask me, how can I help somebody else and help them manifest something? I know you're coming from a good place. I've never heard anybody say that other than the relationship thing. Those of you who want to get somebody back, that's totally, I'm sorry, you know who that is. That's totally the ego. Yeah, it's the ego wanting something for itself. Me. What about the other person? If they don't want to be with you, bless them. Wish them light and love. Bless them. I know it's tough. Because the ego says, I want it, I love that person. Well, obviously something wasn't working. Maybe you need to use this as a lesson and say, what did I do that I can change that either drove this person away or maybe it was just not a match. Maybe they're on a different frequency and it's not as high as yours. But I'll tell you what, if it was a frequency issue, you would not be trying to get them back. If you were on a higher frequency, you'd say, bless you. Find that perfect person for you. Ouch. This is part of being human, but I know that I'll find my perfect person that's on my frequency, and that's going to be beautiful because that person's going to want to be with me as much as I want to be with them. That other person doesn't want to be with you. And if they do come back, it's not because you willed them back. I made my love of my life come back. No, you didn't. They did it. It's free will. All right? Can you imagine if you broke up with somebody who so didn't want to be with them and they could make you come back to them and you just did not want that? What a horrible situation that would be. And that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to impose your free will on theirs. Actually disrupt their free will. It's not possible. If they come back, it's because you improved yourself, you went to a different place, you resonated on a certain frequency, and then they may have connected to that and said, you know what? You've changed, or you know what? Or they've changed. But be steadfast. Be steadfast in keeping that high frequency and letting things go. This includes people wanting their parents to change, wanting a friend to change. They need, I can help them. I'm going to push these videos on them. Why? We're discounting, when we do that, we're discounting the fact that they are on a journey and they have that free will, that choice to be miserable if they want to. If they ask you for help, or if you might just gently suggest, you know, if you're feeling a little bad today, there's some videos that I watch, or a book, you know, whatever it is that I have, maybe, you know, I'd be happy to share it with you, and let it go. Allow them to choose. One day, instead of you pushing on, you need to do this, here's what you need. I've done that before, man. I've been the fixer many years ago, always trying, and guess what? They want that, yeah, and then as soon as they get what they want, they dump you because you made them feel good, but they didn't really want to do what you were saying. You guys experienced this before, right? The friend, oh, my boyfriend or girlfriend, they're horrible, and they come over and you're going, yeah, you're better than that, and as soon as they get the phone call, they dump you and they go back to them, even though if they're abusive. That's how it works. You become an enabler. So if you have a situation where somebody's miserable, somebody was talking about their parent who they take care of, so they're there with him all day. Oh my gosh, what a challenge. Listen, my mother was a very negative person. Funny and just had great personality, talented, but she saw the world in a negative way. She was brought up that way. It was very difficult for her to break away from that negative mindset. She had very little self-worth. That never went away. She died very young because of it. She had all kinds of physical issues because she literally was killing herself. Honestly, somebody said, forget the phone. This is our joke. The phone never rings except for when I'm on a video, which is just a few minutes each day. It's sort of like this little message, right? I love it. I think it's funny. Not to be distracted like I usually get, I want you to understand that sometimes letting go is the biggest gift you can give them, and acceptance. and just being there for them in their miserable state of mind, and also not trying to push anything. I had to pull back from having too many conversations with my mother because it was such a downer. And I didn't want to be around it. So I limited my conversations with her, and I never like criticized her or told her she needed to do this or that, or I was some expert on how she should change her life. I was constantly on her when I was younger. Oh, Mom, do this or do that or whatever. She had weight issues. And I thought, you know what, at some point I accepted, wait a minute, this is my mother and I love her. This is who she is. She was wonderful to me. And even if your mom or dad is not wonderful to you, or whoever that relationship is not wonderful to you, if you are you're in that relationship for a reason, you're discounting very often what you're supposed to be learning from it. Instead of being the expert, I'm the higher light being, that's the ego, right? We know who that is. Yeah. Yeah, that's the ego sticking its nose into something. Saying, I'm in light and I'm in wake and I'm in such a state. Well, you're not. We're not. And I know when that kicks in with me, and I think, you know, back off, let them go, man, let them go. The best thing you can do is the message to them you can give them is, I don't want to be around your negative energy. And you don't have to tell them that. Send them blessings to become at peace and to find their own way. And if they lose you because they figure out people don't want to be around negative energy, maybe they'll make the change or not. So you have to be able to let go of things and accept things and say, what am I supposed to learn about this? Is my ego trying to change that person because I think the way I think is right? I saw another comment about, you know, oh, I feel sorry for those people who don't believe in God or whatever. Why? Because you're coming from the ego that thinks, yes, that thinks that it is right. You're not all the time. No, you're not. I haven't lost it yet. All right, so the bottom line is, when you find yourself doing that, your ego is imposing your thoughts, your ideas, and what you believe is true on another person because you believe they need to change. You think they're going to be happier. They get to choose that, and you're not considering the fact that we're all on a journey. Somebody might have come here to be absolutely, you know, miserable on the streets, broke, maybe, you know, whatever, just experience that, and they die that way. And they don't really seek out the help, and if they've been given help, don't go into that because they don't want to go into that other world that we think is best. Maybe they came here to experience something. We don't know what their past lives were. We don't know what our relationship is, too, with those people. You know what? I don't know what my mom and I were in another life. Maybe we switched roles to be challenged by that. Maybe somebody decided to be the person who's sick and miserable, to challenge you. We don't have those answers. But we're all allowed to have our own journey. Can you release that? Can you allow it? Can you be okay and offer yourself as the person that will be there, accepting, not imposing, yes, come to me, I want you to believe my religion. That's not total light and love and acceptance. That is you, again, thinking that you're right, and that's the ego. So letting go, somebody doesn't want to be with me. Bye. Wish you well. Hey, new opening. Wow, what am I going to do with my life now? This is pretty cool. You know, or a parent. It's like, okay, I'm going to have to listen to this. I chose this. Woo-wee, that was a big one, I'll tell you that. Not only to take care of a parent, one that's really negative, yikes, being around that all the time, that's when you're going to be really tested to keep your peace. And when they say stuff, smile, and your energy of acceptance and love and total, like, you know, just really caring about that person, that energy is going to affect them, and you might find them saying, you know, hon, do you have a book or something? Or maybe you could read to me, you know, or is there a video? You know, how does that work? And they may surprise you because your energy was so light and loving and accepting, and that nothing they said was getting to you. There's no conflict anymore. This is your test. Are you creating conflict? That's all in your head. Enlightened and super awakened people are not affected by that. They see the other struggling. She's struggling, right? He or she's struggling. Bless them and gosh, wow. I want that person to pull out of that. I need to be the energy, the higher energy. And this is why we do our Saturday meditation. When you send that higher energy out, you are affecting other people. And they may pick up on it and decide not to commit the crime or not to say the nasty thing. Or maybe they just feel really light that day and good. And they go, you know what, I think I'm going to go do something positive. Or maybe I'll meditate or whatever. This is how it works. This is total release and acceptance. Total release of the ego, having to have things your way, and always looking at yourself and saying, what am I learning? How can I be the best? How do I contribute on the highest level? And that is to be a positive frequency. Always a compassionate, not wanting to change the other, but being there for them, offering assistance, being the giver, not pushing the giving, or accepting something. A lot of my comments that come over are people are expecting a certain reaction. That's the ego. You did not give freely. You can say that you did all day, but I'm going to tell you, if you had requirements, that was not giving freely. Giving freely is not taking credit for anything. And knowing that that person never said thank you, it doesn't matter. You feel that what you did was right and good, and that they can do whatever they want with that. So, yeah, so we're going to talk more about this. I'm going to let you go because I don't want too long of a video here. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. And can you say goodbye to your ego? Yeah, just say goodbye. Just, you know what? It's going to always be there, and you don't even realize because it's so cute that you think you're doing something good. And Hackerty dog, you know, it's like he thinks he's doing great stuff all the time, right? Yeah, I know, and it's not good, right? It's interference, and that's the ego. Recognize that, and then let him take a nap once in a while. Give it a break, all right? You are whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Can we namaste together? All right. Namaste.